Barack Obama could make Donald Trump's entire tough guy image crumble on live television? In a single night, the former president didn't raise his voice. He simply held up the mirror, and Donald Trump couldn't stand what he saw. In a live showdown that left America glued to their screens, Barack Obama sat ice-cold and composed while Donald Trump unraveled under the bright lights. Donald Trump hurled every arrogant insult and desperate deflection he could muster, only for Barack Obama to calmly dismantle the bully's entire facade. Barack Obama mocked Donald Trump's so-called family values and fake toughness before dropping the ultimate bombshell that exposed Donald Trump's own hidden lies about Barron's birth in front of the entire nation. The Grand Hall in the Capitol was buzzing that night under bright chandeliers and a massive banner that read, "Building America's Future." Leaders, diplomats, and reporters packed the room, all waiting for something big. Barack Obama arrived first. He walked in with that calm, steady stride everyone remembered, wearing a sharp, dark suit and offering a small nod to the cheering crowd. The applause erupted loud and genuine, people standing up as Barack Obama made his way to the front. He didn't wave like a showman. He just carried himself with a kind of quiet confidence that made the whole room pay attention. A few minutes later, Donald Trump made his entrance. He strode in with his chest out, flashing that big grin and waving to everyone like he owned the place. He stopped to shake hands with a couple of guests, slapping backs and soaking up the attention. The applause was loud too, but it carried an edge mixed with murmurs and uneasy glances. Right away, you could feel the tension crackle between Barack Obama and Donald Trump. They ended up sitting side by side in the front row. No handshake. Barack Obama gave a polite nod. Donald Trump just smirked back, his eyes narrowing slightly. Cameras zoomed in tight on their faces, capturing every little detail. Barack Obama's expression stayed composed and relaxed. Donald Trump's smirk looked forced, like he was already sizing up a fight. The host stepped up quickly to keep things moving and gave a short welcome, thanking both leaders for coming. Before the speeches even started, Donald Trump leaned over and whispered something to Barack Obama with a sarcastic edge. "Nice to see you back at my kind of party," Donald Trump muttered loud enough for nearby guests to hear. Barack Obama didn't react much, just sat there steady as ever. The small exchange sent a ripple through the people closest to them. Then Donald Trump decided to push it further for the cameras. He stood up partway and reached out his hand in a very public way, smiling big like he was showing unity to the whole world. "Come on, let's show them we're putting America first together," Donald Trump said loudly. Barack Obama stayed seated for a second, then rose politely, but didn't take the hand right away. "Unity isn't a photo op, Mr. President," Barack Obama said clearly, his voice calm but firm. "It's earned through truth." Barack Obama gave a small nod instead of the shake. Donald Trump let out a big laugh, but his eyes flashed with real anger. The host finally called Barack Obama to the podium. He stood up smoothly, adjusted his jacket, and walked over with that same calm presence that always filled the room. The crowd quieted down fast, everyone leaning forward to hear what Barack Obama would say. With Donald Trump sitting just feet away, Barack Obama gripped the sides of the podium lightly and looked out at the faces watching him. He didn't waste time with long stories or fancy lines. He got straight to the point about real leadership. True leadership isn't about yelling the loudest or tearing things down to make yourself look better, Barack Obama said in that steady voice. It's about bringing people together, showing empathy, and building something that lasts. He talked about the tough work of rebuilding the economy after the crash, fixing healthcare so families could actually get help, and earning trust around the world instead of bullying allies. Without naming Donald Trump directly, Barack Obama landed a clear shot. Progress doesn't survive when we rip apart what's already working just to erase the name on it. The words hung there. A few people nodded hard while others shifted uncomfortably in their seats. Donald Trump sat still, but his fingers started tapping on the table. Barack Obama kept going, his tone even but sharp underneath. He moved to family values and moral leadership. A leader's job includes setting an example in how we treat our own families and how we carry ourselves with integrity, Barack Obama said. Everyone in the room knew exactly who that was aimed at. Whispers spread through the crowd as heads turned toward Donald Trump. Barack Obama didn't raise his voice once, but the message cut deep. Barack Obama wrapped it up strong. At the end of the day, it's truth that matters more than noise. We owe it to the American people to face facts, not run from them. The hall broke into loud applause. People stood up in sections, clapping harder than they had all night. Barack Obama gave a small nod and started walking back to his seat. Before he sat down, Barack Obama paused and looked straight at Donald Trump. Some secrets have a way of surfacing when power blinds us, Barack Obama added calmly, like that recently surfaced hospital record on family timelines that raises real questions. He didn't say more, but the impact hit like a punch. Donald Trump gripped the arms of his chair tight, his knuckles turning white as his face hardened. The applause roared even louder. Some of Donald Trump's own supporters looked worried, shaking their heads. The applause for Barack Obama was still dying down when the host called Donald Trump to the podium. Donald Trump stood up fast, adjusted his tie with a sharp tug, and marched over like he was taking back what was his. The crowd clapped, but it felt more polite than excited now. Donald Trump grabbed the microphone and jumped right in without any thanks or warm-up. "That was some nice words from a great talker with zero results," Donald Trump said, glancing over at Barack Obama with a mocking grin. "Lots of pretty speeches, but look where they got us." Donald Trump launched into his usual boast, pounding the podium lightly. "Under my leadership, we had the strongest economy this country has ever seen. Record jobs, record stock market, and our military was respected again. No more weakness. America was winning big time." Donald Trump didn't stop there. He turned up the heat and started hitting Barack Obama's record directly. "They left us a total mess. Terrible health care that was falling apart, wide open borders letting everyone in, and deals that screwed American workers. I had to come in and fix it all." His voice got louder with every line, feeding off the energy he was trying to create. A chunk of his supporters clapped and cheered, but the rest of the room stayed quiet, still buzzing from Barack Obama's calm delivery. Then Donald Trump brought out the old jab, keeping it just sneaky enough. "Some people talk big about loving this country," Donald Trump said with a smirk, "but you have to be born with that fire in your blood." The room reacted instantly. Gasps and murmurs spread fast. Everyone knew what Donald Trump was getting at. Donald Trump looked pleased with himself for a second, like he had landed a solid hit. But the momentum wasn't shifting the way he wanted. Donald Trump pointed straight at Barack Obama, his face getting redder. "If you're so smart about leadership, why don't you explain the real mess you left behind?" Barack Obama just sat there completely still, with a small, steady smile on his face. That smile seemed to flip a switch in Donald Trump. His eyes narrowed and his voice rose even higher. "Real leaders don't get betrayed by their own inner circle," Donald Trump added sharply, the words clearly aimed at Ivanka and Jared. "They stay loyal." The jab hung heavy in the air. Some people in the crowd cheered while others let out loud boos. The hall split right down the middle, voices clashing as phones came out again to record every second. Donald Trump tried to keep going, but the energy felt off. His attempts to reclaim the spotlight were falling flat against Barack Obama's earlier calm strike. The more Donald Trump pushed, the more the tension in the room thickened. Then Barack Obama slowly stood up. The entire room went dead quiet in a heartbeat. Every eye in the place locked onto Barack Obama as he stepped forward just a few feet from his seat, calm and steady like always. Donald Trump stared at Barack Obama with a mix of shock and fury already building on his face. "Mr. President," Barack Obama said clearly, his voice carrying across the silent hall without needing to shout. "Given your strong stance on family values, can you clarify the inconsistencies in your own household timeline, particularly around your daughter and certain past associations?" Gasps and whispers exploded through the crowd. People shifted in their seats, some leaning forward while others pulled out their phones to record. Donald Trump's face turned deep red almost instantly. He gripped the edge of the table, knuckles white, but before Donald Trump could fire back, Barack Obama kept going in that same even tone. "We have a former aide ready to testify about Epstein-related files that mention names close to your circle." Right on cue, a man in a plain dark suit stood up from the side section of the room. He had worked as staff near the Trump family years ago. The former aide spoke briefly but firmly into the microphone handed to him. "The leaked documents are real. They connect names in the inner circle to those files. I saw them myself." The room erupted. Donald Trump shot up from his seat, his face twisted in rage. "This is a witch hunt," Donald Trump shouted at the top of his lungs, slamming his hand down on the table so hard the sound cracked through the speakers. "Lies from a loser. Total lies and fake news. You're disgusting for even bringing this up." His voice boomed across the grand hall as cameras flashed like crazy, lighting up the chaos. Supporters in the audience cheered loudly while others booed or sat in stunned silence. The elegant event had completely broken down into shouting and confusion. Donald Trump lost control completely. He spun around and pointed straight at Ivanka, who was sitting just a few seats away with Jared beside her. "Don't you dare drag my family into your fantasies," Donald Trump yelled, his fingers shaking with anger. Ivanka looked back at her father with cold, distant eyes. She didn't defend Donald Trump. She didn't say a word. She just held that steady gaze that made it crystal clear to everyone watching. The public loyalty test had just failed right there in front of the whole world. Jared shifted uncomfortably but stayed quiet. The moment hung heavy, and the crowd reacted with even louder murmurs and gasps. Barack Obama remained completely composed, not raising his voice even a little. It's not fantasy when hospital records and signatures don't match the stories we've been told, Barack Obama replied evenly, staring Donald Trump down without blinking. The words hit like a hammer. Donald Trump's face twisted even more, veins standing out on his neck. He pounded the table again, harder this time, the microphone catching every angry thud. "Get him out of here right now," Donald Trump demanded, waving wildly at the event organizers who looked panicked and unsure what to do. "This event is over if he stays. Throw him out. He's making up disgusting lies because he can't handle the truth." Chaos took over the entire hall. People stood up from their chairs, voices clashing from every direction. Some Donald Trump supporters chanted his name while others argued back loudly. Phones were everywhere, recording the meltdown in real time. The once polite audience had split right down the middle, with flashes from cameras turning the room into a storm of light and noise. Organizers rushed toward the stage trying to calm things down, but it was too late. The damage was done. Family secrets were spilling out live, and everyone could see the cracks forming in Donald Trump's world. Barack Obama stood tall and unflinching through it all, his expression never changing from that quiet confidence. Donald Trump kept shouting, his rage filling every corner of the room as he demanded action. "This is unacceptable. He's attacking my family with lies." But the more Donald Trump yelled, the more the room seemed to pull away from him. Ivanka's cold stare lingered in people's minds. The former aide sat back down quietly after his short statement, but the words he spoke refused to fade. Whispers spread fast about what else might come out next. People were standing up everywhere, shouting over each other while cameras flashed nonstop. Organizers rushed around trying to calm the crowd, but no one was listening. Donald Trump gripped the podium tightly, his face still flushed with anger as he tried to regain control. "He's making up disgusting lies because he can't accept I fixed what he broke," Donald Trump yelled, pointing toward Barack Obama. "I made America strong again, and he's just jealous." But the room didn't respond the way Donald Trump wanted. Instead of cheers, an uncomfortable silence fell over large parts of the audience. Many people pulled out their phones, frantically searching for Epstein files and hospital records. Whispers spread quickly through the rows as guests exchanged shocked looks. Donald Trump's usual bluster wasn't landing. The more he tried to push back, the more the energy in the hall shifted against him. Before Barack Obama turned to leave, Barack Obama paused and looked straight at Donald Trump one more time. "One more thing," Barack Obama said calmly, his voice cutting through the noise without effort. "A public DNA challenge isn't just talk. The truth about parentage and hidden records will come out with or without your permission." The words landed like another bomb. Ivanka lowered her head, staring down at her hands. Jared leaned over and whispered something urgent to her, trying to steady the moment, but she didn't look up. Donald Trump's face went pale. His usual red rage drained away, replaced by something closer to panic. His hands trembled slightly on the podium as he tried to speak. That's ridiculous," Donald Trump stammered, his voice cracking for the first time all night. The breakdown was clear to everyone watching. The event organizer, looking nervous and overwhelmed, finally stepped forward. "Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take a short break," he announced, his voice trembling slightly. The audience didn't move much at first. They sat there whispering intensely to each other. "What does Barack Obama know? Are those files real?" The questions spread like wildfire. Phones lit up the room as people dug deeper into the claims. Ivanka remained quiet, her head still down. Jared kept glancing around uncomfortably, trying to shield her from the stares. Donald Trump stepped back from the podium, his shoulders tense. He looked toward his daughter for a moment, but the cold distance in her eyes from earlier still hung in the air. The family crack was out there for everyone to see. Donald Trump looked away first, his jaw tight as the weight of the night pressed down harder. Then, just as organizers tried to move on, another witness stood up quickly near the side of the stage. It was a hospital staffer who had worked during key family timeline periods. Before security could reach him, he grabbed a nearby microphone. "The hospital records show clear inconsistencies in the dates and signatures," he said fast. The words cut off abruptly as the mic was yanked away and he was pulled back. But it was enough. The short leak sent fresh shockwaves through the hall. Donald Trump had seen enough. He didn't wait for photos or handshakes. He stormed off the stage with his security team close behind, moving fast toward the exit without a single wave to the crowd. No victory pose, no final boast, just a quick, tense departure. Reporters exploded into action, shouting questions and rushing for better angles. Cameras followed Donald Trump all the way out as the media frenzy went into overdrive. Barack Obama walked out with his head high, leaving behind questions that wouldn't go away. The battle between calm truth and loud denial was far from over, and America wouldn't stop talking about it anytime soon.